Good afternoon and welcome to another Kerry Garden Show here in Boyles of Killorglin. I'm Alan Finn and our gardening expert across from me here is Miguel.
Hello.
Miguel, you're very welcome to the Garden Show.
In the middle of the
In
forest,
amongst all the
jungle,
forest, yeah.
in the
We've
jungle.
got another table full of plants here because today on the show we're going to be talking about climbers, what they can bring to your garden, what types we have, and also the different kind of colours and stuff. So tell us about climbers. What do you love about climbers, Miguel?
So you remember the other day talking about the hydrangeas?
Yeah.
I show you the climbing hydrangea. And
Yeah.
we talk about the possibility of doing a special of climbing plants. And that's it. Here we go.
Here we go.
No procrastination.
Yeah,
Straight
yeah.
away. So what can they add to your garden? That's one thing is very curious. Is that they are all very curious plants, the climbers, when they are in pots in the garden centers. They don't look very well.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for them to look very well.
Do you know what?
Then
I
when
do have to totally agree with you, because when I come down and I look at it, like the pictures of them are beautiful, but they don't look like much.
Yeah.
So it's very much, you know, you need to have the right eye or just a bit of expertise like yourself.
Not that. Just again, it's just no rush. It's just what it's gonna give you, not what it's showing.
Okay, right
like
now,
many
yeah.
plants. You know? And in this case, except in some of them, like the ones we have here with nice flowers, they are all quick. Well, we're gonna start with deciduous and evergreen.
Okay.
Evergreen, as a rule of thumb, they grow slower than deciduous. Right?
Slower.
Slower.
Okay.
So pyracantha, or the ceanothus, or the star jasmine, they will go slower in growth. Even the hydrangea, that is deciduous, will grow slower. Then there's explosive growth in some varieties of clematis.
Okay.
That's the Montana. If you want to cover a fence quickly, that's your plant.
Okay,
right?
really.
With very nice pink flowers in early spring.
Yeah.
It's extremely vigorous. See, you
Yeah.
can.
Honestly, we had it on the table for a second ago, but I had to put it down because it's just so big.
And
So was that one of the main reasons people would kind of look to go for climbers? So you're talking about people who might want an area of their garden that's maybe either it's a wall, it's an ugly wall, or it's a fence, and you just kind of go, oh God, I don't want to have to put an entire, you know, massive flower bed. What could I use that maybe would cover it? And that's your plant of choice if you were to go with.
So it's up. At the end, I think we talk about planning. All right?
Planning, yeah.
Plan what you want.
Okay.
All right. Because see, this is a vigorous plant, but could bring you problems after. Right? The vigorous plants, then they will take over. The first time I rented a house in Ireland, it had some kind of secret garden, not made on purpose.
Okay.
It was a clematis montana that was overgrowing, that's wrapping around the hollies and everything. So when I cleaned it, it was 2 steps and a hidden garden behind. Amazing.
Wow. Okay.
That will be growing very quick. You have to prune it hard. And
Space-wise, you need a lot of it?
No, because it's extremely quick grower, extremely vigorous, self-clinging, and it will be colonizing the whole fence in a couple or 3 years. It's amazing the speed that plant.
It's impressive, yeah.
So, and then you have this Trachelospermum that is very slow growing. It will be growing up to 8 meters or more.
8 meters?
Yeah, which is 25
yeah,
or 30.
it's very
right?
big, and it's the star jasmine that you mentioned. Yeah, it's a lovely white dainty flower on
needs
it.
guidance, needs trellis.
Okay.
Very scented flowers.
Oh, beautiful.
Very
Okay, so if
scented
you want some
flowers.
nice scent for the garden,
That's a different variety. We've brought it different things. Do you see? It's the same family, but it's completely different. It's a Trachelospermum as well, with flowering. That's very slow growing as well.
slow. Okay.
Then you go. So, slow growers normally
Need a trellis.
Need a trellis.
Okay.
Slow growers normally are evergreen,
Okay.
excepting the solanum, the potato vine.
The potato vine.
The potato vine, we have another one here. They are evergreen or semi-evergreen,
Okay.
and they grow
Tangled up.
very quick.
Okay.
They have a very nice flowers. Some of these ones are blue, these ones are white. Very nice flowering. Okay. So, if you want some flowers, something that grows quick, and something that is evergreen or semi-evergreen, potato vine is your plant.
Okay.
Jasmines, we don't have any here, I think. Jasmines are semi-evergreen as well. I have a very beautiful one in my house. It took 5 or 6 years to start flowering properly. Is the sun, is the heat, is everything that affects them.
Right.
So we have deciduous and we have evergreen. And then we have self-clinging and trellis plants.
Okay.
So self-clinging, potato vine, clematis montana.
Clematis, yeah. And they come in a lot of different colours as well, don't they? The
Clematis come in many different
colours, yeah.
vigorosities, many different colors.
Some beautiful selections.
Some of them are evergreen,
Yeah.
very slow growers as well. Decent, the flowering is okay, but
Okay.
it's an evergreen plant. And it's always something in your wall or in your,
Yeah.
while these
won't
fellas in
look
the
bare.
winter, they are bare. But again, they grow faster. So, Cyanothus, see this one, people cannot see it, but it's a small trellis, like in the Pyracantha we have here. They come with a small
Cyanothus.
little trellis.
Yeah.
And they kind of self-guide through the trellis, but sometimes you have to get
A little
a
kind
little
of,
branch here
and
there.
just
and
kind of twist it around the trellis, isn't it?
Exactly.
Just to give it a little
Exactly,
bit
of
of
help.
help. And the other thing as well, I remember with anything self-climbing is when you're planting them, you really kind of have to put them at an angle, don't you? So again, you're guiding them to
Against
either
the-
cling onto the wall or
Exactly.
to go onto the trellis.
If you put them in the wrong angle,
Yeah.
they will be
They're just gonna go
they will-
floppy.
Exactly, they will be more
Ground
rumbling.
cover.
Yeah, rumbling.
And you don't want that, yeah.
So it's some of them that you look for the flowers, some of them that you look for the colors, like the Boston ivies.
Now, yeah, let's talk about these two because these are beautiful. Now, they're not flowering, but it's the leaves that
it's the
go
leaves.
colours.
They
There's
go
a
different
beautiful one
shades.
here, Parthenosis?
Parthenosis.
Parthenosis. Oh my God, I
This is
love
a
these names. You know that.
Quinquifolia, there's two main varieties, the quinquifolia and the tricuspidata. Quinquifolia will be meaning 5 leaves.
Okay.
And you see,
Oh yeah.
this
oh,
one
there we
have
go.
5
5
leaves.
leaves. Very
and
good. Yeah.
tricuspidata will be meaning 3.
I'm guessing
Three.
Yeah.
So it's like a 3 and it's a spike here.
Okay.
It's a spike here.
Now
but
here
they are all
the
same.
stems of these leaves are red, and that'll give you a kind of a little hint of what's to come because these go a beautiful dark red, don't they, Miguel?
They do. They change color from lighter, very shiny red to a deep purple.
Deep. Okay.
And then they lose the leaves in the winter.
Okay.
They grow very, very, very vigorous. And if you have them in your house against one of the walls of your house, you have to keep the shade. If not, will be end up covering your windows.
The
and
whole
everything,
thing.
right?
Okay, right,
So
yeah.
I have a neighbor that has one of them has an ivy,
An ivy.
and the other one has a Boston ivy, and they're both covering the front
Yeah.
of their houses.
Wow.
And
You would see that
that's-
a lot, actually. I've
Yeah.
seen that a lot in a lot of houses, yeah.
You know, the problem there is the wildlife
Yeah.
that brings,
Or-
right? They
or-
bring
or-
rats and
Or if you wanted to change the colour of your house, I'd hate to be a painter having to go through and have to.
You paint it all
Can we
in
get
red.
rid of it? Yeah.
Paint it in red.
Painted in red. Yeah, that'd be a good thing.
Well-
Now, there's also a variegated version as well too
Yes.
here, which is lovely, and it's called Star Showers.
that's a new one. That's a new variety in the market this year, if I'm not wrong. I haven't seen it before. I could be wrong, but it's
And it looks like, talking of painting, it looks like someone dropped some
Yeah.
paint on it. The way the splashes are going, most variegated leaves are, all around the outside or they start on the inside. This is very random. It's very spotty and stuff.
It's very eye-catching by itself.
Yeah,
the
it's very-
colors, and they go to orange red as well.
And you were telling me that. Okay, so that's pretty
So
spectacular.
That's the beauty of them. And the beauty of them is that they go very fast. They go very fast. They need loads of food.
Okay.
They need lots of food. You grow slower. You need less food. That's again
So
a
it's
rule of
again
thumb.
knowing. Well, Miguel, it just comes down to knowing what you want. Like
Yeah.
as you said, you started about talking about planning. Know what you want to get out of it. Whether it's a slow-growing evergreen that may not give you a lot at the start, but will give you stuff, or there's the vigorous. I want that wall covered. I want that fence covered now, and also make it look nice. So there's different.
And I will say something else as well. That's a very good planning, and find out how it's going to look after a few years.
Okay.
because it might be not looking as you want it. Because again, you're buying a plant that it doesn't look like it's gonna be. So this green plant that is tied up, as soon as you pot it up, as soon as you transplant it to the ground and take the braids
kind
or the things out of the
ties off it,
the ties off, and it will be.
It's going to shoot out left, right, and center. Yeah.
Have in mind that if you think that it's going to be a small plant, you're wrong. If you think that it's going to be a very quick, the Cyanotus is a very quick plant, you're wrong too.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing with your microphone.
Okay.
So I have said plenty of times, I think, about planning. Planning is essential in terms of what you want. If you want instant privacy or quick privacy, you have your downside, knowing that it's going to take over your trees or your plants or your neighbor's fence, and you're going to have to be pruning it 2 or 3 times a year sometimes. It has wonderful flowering, but has the downside of the
being
kind of
getting everywhere.
Not invasive,
no,
but
I think the word vigorous gives people a good idea of how it'll grow. Like it.
For people that cannot see, this plant is in a 5 or 7 liter pot, but it's cane.
Nearly as tall as yourself.
Yeah, the cane is like 1 meter, but the plant itself it will be like
it's gone over 6 foot,
6 foot long, and that's here in the pot in between other plants. If that will have a proper room for growing, that will be triple size right now. So
and you've just touched on what was my next thing, which we also need to be important. So conditions. What's the ideal conditions for these? Do they like shade, par shade, drainage? Again, is it all different?
So you can find something for every spot.
Okay.
Right. If you have a very shady area, hydrangeas will be good. Solanum, they will be good. Passion flower.
Passion flower. Oh, here we go. Now the Spanish is coming out here.
We don't have any right now, I think, but passion flower is very good for shade.
Okay.
Passiflora cerulean or any passiflora, very good for shade. Spectacular flowers, but just mind-blowing flowers.
That's probably why we don't have any, because
they are just simply out of this world, those flowers. And they do very well in shade. The rest would prefer sun.
Okay.
Pyracantha can do in shade. Boston ivy can do in partial shade.
Yeah.
Ivy can do everywhere.
Ivy. we all. I think we all have had experiences of ivy, of knowing how far it can go. Yeah, yeah.
Trachelospermum or scented flowers like jasmine.
Yeah.
They prefer full sun.
They need to.
So scented flowers again. If you go to Italy or Spain, the same plant that here is slightly scented is very highly scented there. So it's the sun and the heat what gives them that scent. So in terms of care, they all need just regular compost.
Okay.
Quite a lot of early in the spring, a good boost, good start. If you planting them, take them out of the pot, dig double size, get full, nice compost, and give them a good start. And every year, I always say the same. Every year, early spring, top dress them, 2 inches, 3 inches, good compost, good topsoil, farmyard manure, something. Give them food. Don't think I know that I'm a heavy person, but people think that their gardens are gonna
look after themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not the case.
And you have to have in mind
for the best results anyway. You have to put in
these plants are very vigorous and the roots spread. But some plants, the root ball stays in a very
tight.
Exactly, and that part is out of nutrients already.
Okay.
And the rest could be full of nutrients. Yeah. But that part, the plant.
So around the base of the plant is important to throw your food.
Exactly.
And we've got our tomato food that we always kind of have here at the front. We've also got our seaweed. So again, this is a good one for these type of plants. It'll work well.
Is very good when you're growing in soil on the ground, because it makes accessible the nutrients accessible for the plant. Let's say activate some nutrients and make the plants that can absorb them. So it has a little bit of nutrients, but what it does is enrich the microbiota of the ground.
Around the area. Yeah.
And it makes the nutrients more accessible to the plants. Okay. And tomato food, that's a classic.
Yeah.
But somehow is a very well balanced.
Between nutrient, nitrogen sulfates and all the different nutrients it needs.
It's just, again, play with logic. Don't go mad with these in slow grower plants.
Yeah.
See this one in particular, the Ceanothus has very green leaves. They don't need anything right now.
Yeah, so a real deep green, and then there's a lovely purple flower.
The Solanum could do a little bit of food.
Yeah.
So if you give a little bit of tomato food to the Solanum, you're taking another green. So keep an eye on them. Basically, it's just a matter of logic. They talk to you.
They talk, we're always talking about how the plants talk, but it is so true that if you keep an eye on them, that you will actually be able to spot what they're kind of trying to say. I'm going to have one last thing I'm going to throw at you. Let's just say I wanted to plant a climber now. Could I do it?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
So there's no set time in planting them, but once you plant them, it's about looking after them the right way at different times of the year.
In a perfect world.
In a perfect world.
You should do it in early spring.
Okay.
Or late winter. Or basically you can do it, and it will be taking longer to get established. That's it. But in a perfect world, when they go, it depends on the plant, because see, the Boston ivy are dormant.
Yeah.
So you can put it up in late winter or early spring. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But other plants are not.
They'll need a certain time. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a rule of thumb. Just do it in early spring. Every plant is different, but especially vigorous ones.
Yeah.
They will get established well.
Right. I lied. I've one last one. You also need to take into account these don't work well with others. Plants, do they? This will take over. Most of them will take over an area, or do they work well with, other plants? So
let's say you have a very nice pergola, and you put one Parathenocissus in one pole, and one Trachelospermum on the other.
Yeah.
The Boston ivy or the potato vine will be overgrowing this.
Completely taken over, yeah.
So again, it's a vigorous plants will be overgrowing.
Yeah. So it does, again, it makes perfect sense, but again, unless you'd heard what we've been talking about, you wouldn't know. So it's important for people to keep that in mind.
Do some research.
First, talk to Miguel.
They look completely different.
Yeah.
Than in reality.
Okay.
Very
brilliant.
Nice plants,
Right. Well, listen. Hopefully, that's given people lots of thoughts on what they might do. Might finish off their garden, cover that wall or fence. It could be also adding a nice little touch to a garden if you want to have a trellis. And of course, there's loads of trellises here as well too in the garden centre.
Yeah.
An arch, things like that. It'd be really, really well. So listen, hopefully that's given you more inspiration. That's what we always try and do here every week. And we'll be back again next week with more inspiration and Miguel here from Boyles and Killorglin. Until then, happy gardening.